Magandang araw po sa inyo mga kabansa. Kayo po ay nasa Iparas kay Paras. Ito po ang inyong lingkod Ado Paglinawan na nag-welcome sa inyo sa programang ito ni Secretary. Magpakilala ka na, Secretary.
Magandang hapon po sa inyo, mga kababayan. Una-una sa aking kumpadre, paring Ado, at ang mga ating mahal na mga kababayan na sobra pa ring paghihirap. In spite of government spending so much money on social amelioration para pagtakpan ang kabulastugan ng gobyerno, pero kukunti lamang ang nakakatanggap. Sa Senate pa nga, nagkakasitahan pa nga sa social welfare dahil yung secretary ng social welfare nagrereklamo yung mga mayors, mga ibang mga taong bayan dahil pinopolitika ang pagpamimigay ng mga tulong. So, ito po yung pinapairal ng gobyerno ngayon, mga tulong dito, tulong dyan, pero that does not cover up the real problem, which is hardship, which is poverty, which is
Lack of production.
and led to gutom. There is enough cravings for food, shelter, low gasoline prices, and everything. 3 taon na si Marcos.
Elektrisidad.
Oh. At ngayon na nahiwalay na si Ginang Sara sa kanila dahil na pasok na rin sa init ng kusina. Na-realize na rin ni Madam Sara na ang kabulastugan. Nung una, she tried to tolerate, she tried to be a team player. Pero para sa kanya, kung yung taong bayan na ang naghihikahos, taong bayan na ang napapansin niya na sobra na ang mga paghihirap, ay tumiwalay siya at ngayon nirereklamo na niya ang mga kabulastugan sa gobyerno. But bumabaliktad ang mga kalaban, bumabalik sa kanya ang mga kalaban, at isa sa mga binanggit ni Ginang Sara ay baka ipa-impeach siya. At wala po itong masasabing walang katunayan kasi mayroong brewing effort ang ating Kongreso, the House of Representatives. I don't know if this is sanctioned by the leadership, but I don't want to believe that it is sanctioned by the leadership. It is merely sanctioned by certain congressmen who wants to make themselves ingratiate themselves para bubukpukin nila ng todo si Sara para mayroong panggasto sa eleksyon. And one of this is this committee that is hearing now, and ito po ang tinutumbok nila, yung funds ni Inday Sara, na ano bang pangalan ng funds na yan, confidential funds ang iniimbestigahan ngayon. No other than the congressman ang namumuno sa mga pagtatanong. Ito, pakinggan po natin ang ginagawa ni Mr. Congressman Akop.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and magandang umaga po sa atin lahat. Mr. Chair, I would just like to proceed or continue my interpellation in the second hearing for COA. Kasi in the last hearing, COA, Attorney Camora, are you? Yes. Kayo po ang sumagot nung tinanong ko kung yung confidential funds of the Office of the Vice President were liquidated in accordance with the protocol provided for by the Joint Circular. Kayo po ang sumagot doon, di po ba? At sinabi po ninyo na the liquidation was done in accordance with the protocol provided by the circular. Totoo po ba yan?
Attorney Camora.
That is true po.
That is true.
Mr. Chair.
Okay. And kayo po ba ay sumasang-ayon sa akin na yung liquidation is merely a documentary checklist and does not actually show that the expenses are actually reasonable or even true? Would you agree with that?
I would have to agree, Mr. Chair.
Pakiulit po.
Agree po, it's documentary.
Do you agree with my statement, Madam?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. And would you agree also that the confidential funds of the Office of the Vice President are public funds?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. And would you agree that COA, or the Commission on Audit, your agency, is the agency or government agency which is supposed to be the guardian to see to it that public funds are spent properly? Would you agree with that also?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Now, since you have stated that the Office of the Vice President liquidated its confidential funds required under Joint Circular, would you also agree with me that the accomplishment report provided by the Office of the Vice President were 100% implemented?
Mr. Chair, what do you mean by 100% implemented po?
Na-implement ba yung pag-liquidate nung amount of 125 million as confidential fund of the Office of the Vice President?
Yes, Mr. Chair, the entire 125 million was liquidated.
And would you agree with me that the documentary pieces of evidence submitted by the Office of the Vice President were merely acknowledgement receipts? Would you agree with me?
The documentary evidence of payment, yes, Mr. Chair.
Yes, and could you give me the specifics insofar as the acknowledgement receipts submitted for the expenses insofar as the confidential fund of the OVP is concerned? Could you give us how much is for the rental of safe houses? How much would be the amount for purchase of information? Do we have the number of acknowledgement receipts submitted by the OVP?
For what account, Mr. Chair?
Rental of safe houses?
For rental for the period fourth quarter 2022 po.
Yes.
It's 16 million po, Mr. Chair.
Rental of safe houses.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
The rental is for 11 days? Would you agree with me?
Yes, Mr. Chair. Since the accomplishment report
Pursuant to
provides-
the accomplishment report, yung amount for the rental of safe houses were paid for 11 days.
yes, Mr. Chair.
Tama po?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Yes. How about, and how many acknowledgement receipts were submitted for this?
Maski gaano pa katagal yung pagtatanong niya, simple lang po ang issue dito eh. Ano bang source? Saan ba nanggaling sa pera ng bayan ang napunta dyan sa confidential fund. Yan ba ay galing sa request ni ginang Vice President sa kanyang pagtungtong pagka-Vice Presidente sa budget, and it was included yung kanyang confidential fund in the General Appropriations Act? Or is it na wala pa siyang request niyan noong 2022 at yung request niya ay pinaabot niya sa Pangulong Marcos Jr. O yan, isa yan sa tinatanong natin. Pangalawa, ipakita natin po ano ba ang issue tungkol dito sa confidential fund. Ano ba yung confidential fund? About confidential fund, ito po ang dapat pag-aralan muna ng mga congressmen kung ano ba yung pinagdidikdik nila tungkol dito sa confidential fund. Ano ba ang confidential fund? Confidential funds are those funds allocated to the following three types of law enforcement, under law enforcement, undercover operations, confidential investigation except are for the purpose of confidential investigation expenses are for the purpose of services and would include travel or travel transportation of an undercover office or under or informant. Confidential and intelligence fund, ano ba yan? No matter in this act shall be confidential and intelligence funds, no matter amount in this act
shall be
released or disbursed for confidential and intelligence activities unless approved by the President of the Philippines or specifically identified and authorized as such confidential or intelligence fund in this act. Yung bang Department of Education entitled ba? Kasi under the law, ang confidential funds are funds entitlement of public servants that are not under the military. Pagka intelligence funds, these are the military
and the police
ang gagamit ng intelligence. Pero confidential funds, ito po yung siguro alam ni Mr. Acop ito dahil
police dati.
Pulis siya, naging mayor yata ito, or yung asawa niya naging mayor or congressman. Ang mga mayors, mga governors, alam nila yan na mayroon silang confidential fund. Lalo na those officials functioning, head of local government units functioning in areas that are under insurgency. And alam ko rin yan, nabasa ko rin yan sa rules ng COA, na ang confidential funds or intelligence funds are directly submitted to the head of the Commission on Audit. Hindi yan dumadaan sa ordinary Commission on Audit na naka-assign sa mga opisina. They are directly submitted and to the office of the head of the Commission on Audit. Nandyan yan sa mga rules and regulations ng Commission on Audit. Tapos, is the Department of Education entitled, being a civil agency, under the law, nakalagay, it is entitled because it can be used to investigate sexual abuse and all other forms of violence, graft and corruption, involvement in illegal drugs of learners and personnel, recruitment to insurgency, terrorism, and violent extremism, child labor, child pornography, and recruitment to criminal activity, gangsterism, and financial and other scams. These are just many of those that are entitlement of government agencies.
Note the date, pare. This was September
2022. 2022. Oh, ito, yan. Hindi totoo yung sinasabing, parating sinasabi ng mga senador, na hindi pwedeng magkaroon ng confidential fund ang mga ahensya na not engaged in the pursuit of criminals or military. Kaya nga mayroong delineation between confidential and intelligence. Ang intelligence, doon yan sa mga pulis, sa mga military, sa mga NBI and so many others. Now, ang tanong ngayon, itong confidential fund na ito, hiniling ba ni Madam Sara Duterte ito sa Kongreso? Itong 125 million? Or ito ay hiniling niya sa Presidente? At ang Presidente mismo, from his own funds, ang alam natin sa contingent fund ng Pangulo, inallocate niya ito para ibigay tulong sa Department of Education. Ngayon, ang tanong, sino ngayon ang may sala? Yung bang kumuha ng pera, sa kaba ng bansa at siya ang nag-authorize na ibigay to somebody else, in this particular case, the Department of Education?
Yung giver ba o yung recipient?
Is there liability on the part of someone? Now, ang tanong dyan, is he authorized by the Constitution to draw funds from his confidential funds, from his contingency allocation para ibigay niya maski kanino? Kay Sara Duterte sa Department of Education, kay sino pa diyang ibang Department of Transportation, and so on and so forth. Pwede ba yan? Wala bang regulation tungkol dyan? Kasi walang pwedeng ibigay mo kung walang allocation from Congress for that particular no power can authorize the President unless there is ito, magpapakinggan natin po ang magaling ito, maski dilawan ito, pero that does not change his capability to think, being a very good lawyer. Ito si Frank Drilon. Pakinggan natin.
So now let's move on to the confidential funds, the issue that the office of the Vice President is facing. So in 2022, Malacanang, the Office of the President released 221.42 million pesos in confidential funds to the Office of the Vice President under Special Provision number 1 of the Contingent Fund. But then it was discovered that the OVP used the confidential funds under the Contingent Fund to build satellite offices. Satellite OVP offices, 221 million pesos. So first, is that legal?
First, okay. Firstly, so to answer that question, we must look at the basis of intelligence and confidence and of the transfer. Under the Constitution, no law shall be passed authorizing any transfer of appropriations from one office to another. I repeat, under the Constitution, no law shall be passed authorizing the transfer of appropriation because the power to appropriate public funds belongs to Congress and not to anyone else. Now, the Constitution provides an exception, and the exception is the Congress may by law authorize the agencies to augment any item in their in the government, in the GAA, from the respective offices, from savings in other items in their budget. To repeat and make it simpler, transfers from one agency to the other is prohibited. Exception when there is need to augment the item. Now, so that's the first basis. So the question is, was there augmentation valid under the law? I was there, Karen, when this budget was being debated upon in 2022. And there was no request for confidential and intelligence budget from the Office of the Vice President, then led in 2022 or 2021. By Vice President Leni Robredo. So there was no item. Since there was no item, then you could not augment. The key is augmentation. If there is a zero budget, what can you augment? Because there is no deficiency in the item that needs augmentation. There is no item for confidential and intelligence funds in the Office of the Vice President when we debated on this budget in 2022.
Okay. Now, sir, Executive Secretary Bersamin, who is, of course, quite an expert on the Constitution, coming from the Supreme Court, being former Supreme Court Justice, has quoted Special Provision number 1 of the 2022 Contingent Fund. He says the President is authorized to approve releases to cover funding requirements of new or urgent activities of national government agencies. So he's quoting Special Provision number 1. So there are two issues here. So can the President make under his discretion what is new or urgent and just disburse it to the Office of the Vice President without congressional approval? Can he do that?
Karen, in the case of Arroyo versus Aquino, which is the famous PDAF cases, the Supreme Court squarely ruled that the power to augment cannot be used to fund non-existing items in the budget. I repeat that. This is a Supreme Court decision. The power to augment cannot be used to fund non-existing items in the budget. This is an interpretation of the Supreme Court of the constitutional prohibition on rules on augmentation. I repeat, this is an interpretation by the highest court of the land on what the Constitution means, what the prohibition against augmentation or on augmentation means, and that cannot be changed by law, even assuming that Executive Secretary Bersamin is correct. Then the provision cannot be enforced in the face of this Supreme Court decision, which clearly stated that you cannot augment items that are on non-existing items. And I have a check that I do, but I would like to think that Secretary Bersamin was the Chief Justice at the time and participated in the decision I repeat, this is a decision interpreting the Constitution, and therefore Congress cannot pass a law which would violate this.
Okay, was there a possibility that the President has violated the Constitution by augmenting an item
That does not exist.
that does not exist? And according to Drilon, medyo may pagka-bopol siguro itong secretary dyan sa Malacanang, o kaya baka hindi na dapat, kasi nag-retire na yan at hindi na dapat tumanggap ng pwesto dahil baka ulyanin na, hindi niya naalala yung kanyang desisyon na nag-participate siya na bawal yung augmentation na yan ng pondo kung walang item on the General Appropriations Act. Pinayagan niya. Siya ang nag-advise kay Marcos na since at the time, mga kababayan, ito po ang pakinggan yung mabuti. Magkaibigan pa. Nagpasalamat pa si Bongbong Marcos kay Sara na tumulong si Sara, manalo siya. At si Sara naman excited na gumawa ng maganda para sa Department of Education at nakita niya na kailangan niyang madagdagan yung pondo kasi kati-take over lang niya in 2022, naghingi ng pondo kay Marcos. Whether that's 125 or 222, humingi kay Marcos. Si Marcos naman, being panay tingin niya sa legs ni Sara, nagustuhan niya, panay pasweet niya kay Sara.
Sa braso.
Panay tingin sa braso, nagustuhan niya si Sara, biglang ni-release ang pondo. At ang pinaaral niya, ulyanin na, hindi niya naalaman na mayroong Supreme Court ruling na hindi pwede. So, ano bang matatawag natin ngayon dyan? Sino bang impeachable? Yung tumanggap na ginastos, yung tumanggap dahil nag-request at ginastos yung pondo na yan, o yung nagbigay ng pondo na walang otoridad at binayolate ang Constitution. Dalawang bagay ito. Itong nangyayari dito, ang impeachable person is Marcos. Sara can never be impeachable.
Under this situation.
Under this situation. She can be accused of graft. If they are able to prove na yung perang ginastos niya ay walang bidding, walang basis, ma-overprice yung mga procurement and so on and so forth. But Sara can never be impeachable because
ang violation ng Constitution.
ang violation ng Constitution, the culpable violation of the Constitution is not with the Vice President, it is with the President. If we follow the pronouncements of our renowned and good friend Frank Drilon. Ewan ko nga bakit hindi tumakbo uli. Ito lang yung isa sa mga dilawan na may kakayahan at may tindig sa Senado. Hindi pa tumakbo ngayon. Pahinga na siguro, sayang. Kasi yung mga binabatbat ngayon diyan ng mga dilawan at saka dito sa mga ibang nag-ambisyon na mag-senador, walang kasing level ni Frank Drilon. So, yun po ang dyan. So, we just want to address, and maybe we are not ridiculing the members of Congress kasi alam naman natin na some of them are very eager, lalo na eleksyon ngayon, gustong magpabida. Alam mo naman, minsan hindi alam ng ating speaker yung mga pinaggagawa nila dyan sa baba. Ha? Tira lang ng tira. Hindi pinag-aralan yung issue dito sa pagtatanong tungkol dyan. Maski ano pang gagawin nyo sa COA, maski takutin nyo pa, lagyan nyo ng libintador yung puwet ng COA na yan, it will never change. You cannot establish any grounds to impeach Sara. But it's so easy to establish a ground based on Frank Drilon's statement to impeach Marcos. And that is not the only impeachable offense of Marcos. And these are on the record in the Senate.
Ang dami na.
These are just one of the many. Ito, mayroon pang isa. Yung ginawa niya kay Panganiban. Inutusan niya si Panganiban na i-award yung kontrata without bidding to 3 suppliers of sugar importation.
Sa agriculture yan.
Sa agriculture. Inamin ito ni Panganiban sa Senate investigation. Na walang sugar order, demiretso lang si Marcos. Sabi ni Sebastian, inorderan ako na ibigay dito sa 3. Tinanong siya, ilan ba dapat yan? There are 32 suppliers. Bakit sa 3 lang? Walang bidding, walang sugar order. So, is that not an impeachable offense? So, marami po. At wag kayo na take things for granted that Congress is controlled by Marcos people. Because impeachment, isa lang yan. 2 lang yan ang mag-endorse dyan. Pupunta na yan. Remember, Erap Estrada. He was the president.
Hawak niya majority.
Hawak niya yung buong Congress. Pero, napalusot. There was no doubt that Estrada can put off the fire sa House at the time. Pero, you cannot put off the fire once the people will see the fire burning on Malacanang. Kaya wag po tayo masyadong kampante na itong babae lang na Vice President ang titirahin nyo. Hindi nyo binabantayan yung bata nyo na si Marcos na ang daming mga binabiolate na batas, which amounts to culpable violation of the Constitution. Hindi pa yan kasama, pati yung ginawa niya doon sa Maguindanao, na nag-appoint siya ng OIC na elected already. How can you appoint OIC when parang tinanggal mo tapos papalitan mo pa ng iba who is a duly elected official, a governor at Maguindanao del Sur and Maguindanao del Norte. Kaya lang hindi lang kumibo at binigyan ka agad ng pwesto sa TESDA kaya tumahimik. But that does not erase the fact that the
act was done.
The act was done and this exists. So, there are more. So, yan lang po ang sinasabi natin na dyan, huwag tayong padalos-dalos na tira ng tira, maski ano pang gagawin nyo sa COA, at the end of the day, at alam mo, may sasabihin siya tungkol doon sa mga resibo. Ano bang gusto mong sabihin doon, pare?
Alam mo, my attention was called to this issue, Secretary. Dahil I'm a registered voter of Antipolo. Itong si Ako, talagang binabantayan ko ito because he is our congressman. Napansin ko na kating-kati siya rito sa mga resibo at saka doon sa mga pinagkagastusan. Ito nga may resibo pa Meron pang nag-acknowledge ng receipt Ha? At dapat, mula sa level ng barangay pa nga, dapat yan eh. Mayor, ha? Congressional districts, senators, and all branches of government. Bakit mayroon tayong ibang panuntunan na pagdating sa mga congressmen and senator ay wala na mga resibo kundi liquidation by certification lamang. At nung tinignan ko, Secretary, examinin mo rin, no? For future studies, yung provisions sa prohibition sa COA ukol sa mga bagay na yan ay lahat ng in the guise of, yun ang word na ginamit ng Constitution, in the guise of avoiding accountability.
Okay, that's pretty good. But the worst here is that why single out the Vice President?
Yeah.
Siya lang naman, hindi lang naman siya ang mayroong ikangay confidential fund. Napakaraming abuse ng confidential fund. Unang-una sa mga local governments, mga mayors, mga governors. All of them are using these confidential funds in their political endeavors. Malaki yan because that's 5% of your era. Ang confidential fund that goes to the head of agency in the guise of fighting insurgency, criminality, lahat yan mayroon yan. Bakit si Sihara lang? Bakit hindi yung mga ibang mga gobernador dyan, mga mayors dyan? Di dapat lahatan na para walang pili, no? Hindi
isang standard lang.
Hindi singled out. Kasi alam ko for a fact, doon lang sa amin 2 beses ko pinaila ng kaso yung corrupt na local government official doon for using the confidential funds, kina-cash advance para ipupusta dyan sa sugal, sa derby.
Sabong.
Sa sabong, milyon-milyon ang pinupusta. Bakit hindi yung... I don't think siya lang yan. There's so many local officials doing that. Using the confidential fund under the guise na insurgency or whatever, binibigay sa mga informants. Pero in truth and in fact, they are being used for their own personal benefit.
In the case of Sara, liquidated, receipted, and
dapat ang mag-imbestiga diyan. Dapat kung mayroon man talaga silang not on the basis of the use of confidential fund per se, but on the basis of how it was spent. Now, ipaimbestigan nyo sa proper body. Ngayon, wala pa mayroon investigation ang COA, and right now you cannot make a conclusion kasi may 6-month period for which she will answer. She will provide her answer on yung mga sinasabi nilang ano ba yan? Yung hindi tinanggap, yung disallowance. Ayun. Pero ano pa lang yan? LOA pa lang yan. So, yun po mga kababayan. We are not favoring anyone here. We are just being Filipinos, being knowledgeable of certain issues such as this. Kaya sinishare natin po sa ating mga kababayan.
Pero mabigat doon, Secretary, yung provision na unless approved by the President of the Philippines.
Ipakita nga natin uli yun.
No amount in this act shall be released or disbursed for confidential and intelligence activities unless approved by the President of the Philippines or specifically identified and authorized as such confidential or intelligence fund in this act.
So, yung unless authorized, ibig sabihin, kung nagkaroon ng hearing sa budget, hihingi yung isang body, isang agency, at bibigyan ng Congress, that becomes authorized. At indirectly approved by the President when he signs the GAA. Pero, whereas, kung wala, katulad nito, na there is no item
Existing in the first place.
item in the budget that exists, pero nag-release ka ng pera para i-augment mo yung item na yun, wow.
Zero. How can
Yun
that be
ang
zero? Yun ang impeachable.
yun ang highly culpable violation of the Constitution. Yun ang
Letter
dapat pag-isipan
of the
nila
letter of the
kung
Constitution.
i-impeach nila si Sara.
Baka ma-impeach si Marcos.
Make sure also na hindi ma-impeach si Marcos. Because hindi naman siguro lahat ng members ng Congress dyan ay hindi pipirma ng endorsement. Ay baka may isa, dalawa, tatlo.
Less than 160.
Pupunta rin yan sa Committee on Justice. Whether you will kill it or not, as long as the people already know about such a violation, baka hindi lang taong bayan, kundi pag mga military, mag-aalboroto na rin dyan. Kasi when you subvert a very, very potent violation of the Constitution, tapos ipopoliticize mo lang, you'll put it under the rug, baka may mga aangal na mga Pilipino dyan. So, yun po ang dapat palatandaan. That fair and square. Dapat. Yun lang po ang masasabi po namin dito sa Iparas kay Paras.
So, Secretary, are we going to stick to the plan? Or not? Yan, dapat tanungin ng mga kongresista. Huwag kalimutang mag-subscribe dito sa Iparas kay Paras at i-click ang notification bell. Mag-subscribe na rin po sa YouTube channel ko at Ado Paglinawan. Secretary, magpaalam na tayo.
Yes, Iparas kay Paras.